Genesis 7. And Jehovah said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generations. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee 7 and 7, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean 2, the male and his female. Of the birds also of the heavens 7 and 7, male and female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living thing that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the ground. And Noah did accordingly unto all that Jehovah commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his son, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of birds, and of everything that creepeth upon the ground. There went into and two unto Noah into the ark, male and female, as God commanded Noah. And it come to pass after the 7th day that the water of the floods were upon the earth in the 600 years of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month. On the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the waters of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, and the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the three wives of his sons, and them into the ark, they and every beast after its kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, and 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in, male and female, of all flesh, as God commanded him. And Jehovah shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the water increased and bared up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the water prevailed and increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high mountains that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the water prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both birds and cattle and beasts, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the spirit of life, and no, of all that was on the dry land died. And every living thing, that everything was destroyed that was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle and creeping things and birds of the heavens, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only was left, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Genesis 7 is the execution of Genesis 6. Judgment comes, but it comes with order, covenant, purpose, and careful preservation. The chapter is written to feel relentless repeating. As God commanded, the water prevailed, all flesh died, because it is making a theological point. God takes violence seriously, and salvation is real, specific, and God governed. Here's what God is saying through Genesis 7. Come into the ark. Salvation is an invitation into God's refuge. Come thou and all thy house into the ark. God doesn't say go, but come. The ark is not merely Noah's project. It is God's provided refuge. God is, in a sense, welcoming them into his protection. Then, for thee have I seen righteous before me. Righteousness is defined before me, before God's face. And a generation that lived as if God didn't see Noah is the one God see as faithful. What is God saying? I judge openly, but I also gather and shelter safely is found by coming under my word. Clean and unclean animals, worship is already in view. Clean beast, 7 and 7, unclean 2. This is pre-Moses, yet the categories clean/unclean are presented. That singles something important. The ark is not just about survival, it is about restoring order in life. Restoring order life with God, which includes worship. The extra clean animals also anticipate sacrifice after the flood. Genesis 8. God is preserving not only biology but covenant relationship. What God is saying, the new world is meant to be recentered on worship and holiness, not merely populated. 7 days, 40 days, and 40 nights. Judgment is measured, not chaotic. Two numbers matter. 7 days, a final period of warning and preparation, echoing creation rhythm. 7 day structure. It carries a solemn last call feel. 40 days and nights. 40 becomes a biblical pattern for testing, judgment, transition. You'll see it later with Israel, Moses, Elijah, and Jesus. Here's Here it marks a complete purposeful season, not random weather. What God is saying, judgment is not capriced, it has moral meaning and a definite boundary. The flood as decreation, the undoing of Genesis 1, chapter 7, verse 11 through 12, and verse 17 through 20. Fountains of the great deep broken up, windows of heaven opened. This is a deliberate creation language reversal. In Genesis 1, God restrains and separates waters to create habitable land. In Genesis 7, the boundary fails, water from below, deep and above heaven collapse back in. The text is saying that the world has become so corrupt that it is experiencing an unmaking, a return towards watery chaos because humanity has turned order life into moral chaos. What God is saying, when you corrupt the earth through violence, the world itself becomes a place of uncreation. I will not preserve a world order that has become an engine of death. As God commanded, and Jehovah shut him in salvation, is God driven from start to finish. This chapter repeats obedience and divine agency. Noah obeys accordingly unto all commanded. The animal comes as God commanded. Then the most tender line, and Jehovah shuts him in. That means Noah's security is not ultimately his craftsmanship. God himself seals the refuge. There's pastoral comfort here. In the storm of judgment, the final lock is God's hands. What God is saying, my salvation is not fragile. When I save, I secure. The universally is intentional. All flesh, every living thing, every man. The repetition is meant to weigh on you. The text is not trying to entertain, it's trying to sober you. Humanity's violence has become totalizing. Genesis chapter 6, 11 through 12. The judgment is correspondingly comprehensive. This confronts a modern impulse to minimize sin. Genesis refused that. It insists evil ruins worlds. What God is saying, I am not indifferent to bloodshed and corruption. I will judge the earth-wide consequences of earth-wide evil. Noah only was left. The remnant theme, chapter 7, verse 23 to 24. Noah only was left, and that they that were with him. This is not Noah was awesome. It is the theological theme of the remnant. God preserves the seeds through whom the future can be rebuilt. Also, water prevails 150 days. The flood isn't a quick, scared, it sustains. The text wants you to feel that uncreation lasts long enough that only God can bring the world back. What God is saying, hope for a new world will not come from human strength. It will come from my preserving grace. The main message of Genesis 7 in one sentence. God's judgment against a violent, corrupted world is real and total, yet God simultaneously provides a secure refuge, an ark sealed by his own hands, preserving a remnant and the seed of a renewal creation ordered again towards worship. Thanks again. That is chapter 7.